Right now at 6, a Southeast Kansas sheriff's deputy steps in to help a woman hit by a train. In dealing with the consequences of a bus driver shortage, the Osho School District is trying a new approach to getting drivers behind the wheel.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Southeast Kansas drive-by shooting suspect takes a plea deal. This is KOAM News at 6. Benjamin Mason from Coffeyville today pled guilty to first-degree murder in the death of Kimberly Meeks. He had originally been charged with numerous other crimes in the Christmas 2019 shooting, including attempted first-degree murder. But through today's plea deal, those charges were dropped. Mason is set to be sentenced early next year. A Labette County Sheriff's deputy steps in to save the life of a woman who had been hit by a train. Yesterday, Deputy Gabe Vitt responded to a call that a pedestrian had been hit by a train. When he arrived, he found the woman whose leg had been severed in the incident. Deputy Vitt then applied a makeshift tourniquet until more help could arrive. The victim will survive, and it's thanks to the quick thinking of Deputy Vitt. A Parsons man is arrested on accusations that he sexually assaulted someone. The suspect has not yet been formally charged, but police say the arrest was made after a victim reported the incident at police headquarters. In a statement, Police Chief Robert Spinks said, quote, "Any physical battery is serious, but a sexual battery is an unforgivable crime, and my heart goes out to the victim in this case." Not so bad today compared to the past few days. Nick Kelly joining us.
Just imagine, a lot of sunshine can really turn things around, Chris. It took us to be back near 50 this afternoon. And speaking of the sun, we still got the very last hints of its rays setting in the western horizon. But even with the setting sun, can't deny, we're still looking quiet as we get the rest of this Monday evening underway from the east side of Joplin. There's a little cloud cover in our far southern counties, but we're talking about areas from Grand Lake, Table Rock Lake down south. That's because of an upper level low passing south. That's also where any good rain chances will stay for the night. This cold front's trying to make a play for us, but it's going to actually lift back to the north as we head into tomorrow. So that's not going to stop us from warming up again as we go into tomorrow. But in the short term, it is dropping temperatures back into the upper 30s and lower 40s across the region. We've got that light breeze in place, but you can see how we fall through the 40s, through the 30s, and I think most of us will be in the 20s for tonight. I think even colder for the northwestern communities. We'll break down the rest of the week, see how much warmer it's going to get here in a bit, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. Kansas officials continue working to speed up the distribution of aid money to help people avoid eviction. The Kansas Housing Resources Corporation says more than 40% of the $169 million allocated to the state program has been given out so far. Roughly 32,000 Kansans have received help. And Kansas isn't in danger of having the federal government reclaim some of the money because the state had distributed at least 30% of the aid by the November deadline. The Oklahoma Department of Corrections is working with lawmakers to possibly change state law so the agency can hire 18 and 19-year-olds to work in state prisons and help address a shortage of nearly 500 workers. Justin Wolf, a spokesman for the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, says that not being able to hire 18 and 19-year-olds is setting the agency back. State Representative Justin Humphrey, who is chair of the Criminal Justice and Corrections Committee, said he was previously against the idea, but is now open to it because of concerns over the shortage of correctional officers. The Osho School District needs bus drivers. There is a shortage, much like in other industries across the nation. But the district has a plan to try to recruit potential drivers. KOAM photojournalist Derek Kinetic tells us how they're working to eliminate any potential fear of getting behind the wheel.
I was pretty intimidated, but honestly, it's so much easier than I had ever expected. Bus, we have great trainers. They prepared me for everything. Getting on the bus, driving, it's very similar to driving a full-size truck. And so if you've ever drove a Suburban or a full-size truck or anything big like that, it doesn't seem a whole lot different.
And then I started driving and just I fell in love with the kids. It gives you a good purpose. You feel like you are important to them. You're the first one to say good morning to them in the morning and the last one to say good night for the school district.
I'm a fairly new bus driver. I got my license in April, so I've just been at it for about 8 months or so. I genuinely love driving the school bus. That's my favorite part of the job, actually, is being on the bus with the kids, getting to know them. It's pretty rewarding.
The Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas is teaming up with the Pittsburgh Public Library to improve COVID-19 testing in the region. Through the partnership, the library is distributing at-home COVID-19 tests. These are available free of charge from 11 to 1 tomorrow at the library. Southwest Missouri children affected by autism now have a local person in their corner at the state level. Ozark Center Chief Administrative Officer Vicki Meisler is now serving on the Missouri Commission on Autism Spectrum Disorders. This Autism Commission is charged with reviewing existing resources, initiatives, and funding, identifying unmet needs or gaps in service or service areas, and creating tangible recommendations for system improvements, including policy, programmatic, legislative, and funding recommendations.
This commission will be looking at best practices in all kinds of areas of the life of someone with autism spectrum disorder. So, you know, it's not just mental health, but education, occupational needs, just everything that occurs in the community.
Meisler is a nationally certified and licensed psychologist with over 30 years of experience in behavioral health. Still ahead, the Alliance of Southwest Missouri is really building something, and thanks to a recent donation, they're not taking on the load entirely by themselves. And a local kid is giving back to those at the Children's Miracle Network who gave so much to her, and her generosity is catching on. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri headquarters is getting some financial help in its remodel. The Veterans United Foundation today presented the Alliance with a $52,000 donation. That donation will help the Alliance in Phase 3 of its project to renovate the historic building where they operate.
There's a lot of structural issues with our building. It's made out of limestone, which is gorgeous to look at, but sometimes with age, does not age well. So we get a lot of water intake with our building. So we just do Phase 2 of our building, the outside, which may seem a little strange, but helps us prevent water intake so we can really get a good platform and base for Phase 3.
The Alliance is now raising funds for Phase 3. VUF was created through Veterans United Home Loans, with employees donating 1% of their salary. A 5-year-old girl who's been a Children's Miracle Network kid since birth has given back to the organization in a big way. Nora Beechner, with help from her family, managed to raise $400 through the sale of walnuts from the family farm.
When we were picking up walnuts, we were talking about how much money we were going to earn, and it was Nana's idea. Hey, let's see if we could partner with Children's Miracle Network and see how much money we can earn for them. So Nora was on board from the minute Nana said that, and been excited to be here ever since.
The family gave the $400 donation to CMN. However, her story inspired others in the community to match that donation. In total, they've been able to raise more than $20,000 so far for the Children's Miracle Network. Later, the Joplin Eagles are playing their first season under a new head coach, and it's going pretty well so far. We'll hear from the team about their hot start.
As far as weather goes, we're looking quiet so far. That's a good thing, but how will temperatures fare as we head toward the Christmas weekend? We'll break down the numbers next. We'll leave it to a lot of sunshine to really get temperatures back into the swing of things. With all the cloud cover we saw Saturday and Sunday, it was a struggle just to get out of the 30s for both of those afternoons, especially with temperatures around 37, 38, 39 at Joplin Regional the other day. But as the cloud cover cleared out, we had to drop back into the mid to upper 20s this morning. But look at that big jump near 50 degrees this afternoon. That's certainly a lot better than the last few cold afternoons that we saw across the region. In terms of what lies ahead down the road, I am watching, well, not a lot, quite frankly, tomorrow through Thursday. We'll keep things chilly and dry, but heading toward the Christmas weekend, I'm looking at a mild Christmas Eve and a chilly Christmas Day. So not a white Christmas this go around, but if you're itching for some wintry weather or snow, on system early next week, sticking with Doug's pattern, could bring in a few showers late Monday, but If we get enough cold air by early next week, that could try to bring some wintry precip our way. In the short term, though, no threatening weather whatsoever. The only thing that's busy from our look at 7th and Range line is the streets down below, while the skies above are staying nice and quiet. 41 right now with a southwest wind at 6. Makes it feel like 37, but the dew point at 30 degrees means the humidity is not too bad, sitting at 65%. Elsewhere around the region, most of us are right around 41 degrees. We've got a couple spots already trying to sneak back into the upper 30s, for example, around Anderson, Pineville, Stockton Lake, and down toward Greenfield. But eventually that's where we're all going to go over the next few hours as, believe it or not, a quick cold front is actually parked right on top of the region, just to the north of the I-44 corridor. But can't tell by the wind speeds, though. They're staying pretty light at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As far as where we go for the rest of the evening, we will be eventually dropping back into the upper 30s, but mid-30s by 10, 30 by midnight. I think most areas around Joplin will be around 27 degrees, but some areas north and west of town, I wouldn't be surprised if you snuck back in the lower 20s to start your Tuesday morning out. Again, a little bit of cloud cover in our far southern counties. That's about it, but a weak upper level wave passing by to our south. That's where all the rain is staying across central Oklahoma and central and southern parts of Arkansas. There's the front in question, trying to push on through, but it's going to lift back to the north tomorrow. Couple that with the building jet, once this upper wave passes on by, that's going to really set the mild trend in motion once we get after tomorrow. In the short term, though, let's say mostly clear skies. Maybe a little cloud cover by the morning drive, but you can see how temperatures will be quite cold once again as we get your Tuesday morning started. Most areas dropping back around 27 degrees. But even with partly sunny skies trying to work in the afternoon, that light southwest and westerly breeze means we'll go to 46 by noon, and we'll be back near 51 degrees for tomorrow afternoon all across the region. This jet lifts to the north as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and especially toward Christmas Eve. That means we'll go from the 50s as we go through the middle of this week to highs near 70 with partly sunny skies for Christmas Day. To give you an idea of how warm this is, the record high for Christmas Eve was 73, set back at 55. So we're going to be awfully close to that number before we chill back down to 57 for Christmas Day. So those numbers will not yield the white Christmas for us, but we'll keep an eye on our next storm system with a few showers on Monday and potentially some wintry weather if enough cold air is still lined up by early next week, Chris. But 51 tomorrow, mid-50s Wednesday, upper 50s on Thursday.
It sounds like around here they need to change that song to "I'm Dreaming of a Mild Christmas" because that's
I don't know who would dream of a mild Christmas.
I wouldn't mind a white one, but I don't mind mild either. Nick,
I'm just bummed that we won't get snow like before Christmas, but after Christmas, we've got a shot.
well, of course, we wouldn't have it any other way here in the 4 states. Nick, thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, Kansas City Chiefs are in the driver's seat for the top seed in the AFC playoffs. And the Joplin Eagles get off to a hot start under first-year head coach Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more next.
We have a couple local interstate basketball matchups tonight in the 4 states. Galena travels to Missouri to take on Macaulay Catholic this evening. Then in Kansas, Pittsburgh girls welcome in the Webb City Cardinals for an early season border battle. The Purple Dragons aiming for their first win of the season, while Webb City tries for back-to-back wins for the first time this year. We'll have highlights from this one right here tonight at 10. The Joplin Eagles are off to a hot start to the basketball season. Joplin is 7-0 so far in their first season under head coach Bronson Shockey. Now that includes winning a tournament title at the Carthage Invitational earlier this month. They'll be back on the floor tomorrow night, aiming for an 8-0 start against Parkview. Now the team says defense, chemistry, and a straightforward approach from their first-year head coach are all reasons they've gotten off to a hot start this season.
He lets us play with freedom. He's a pretty upfront guy on what he wants, so he's not going to go sugarcoat it. If you're playing bad, he's going to let you know. If you're playing good, he won't let you know as much, but he's still going to be giving you a high five and everything, so I just love that about him.
I mean, when I played, that's what I wanted. I could handle the criticism or whatever was coming my way. I just wanted to get better, and these guys are the same thing. So, you know, we're tough on them, but we're fair at the same time, and that's all it's going to be.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the hottest team in the NFL right now. Chiefs have won 7 straight games, and because the Patriots and the Titans both lost over the weekend, they are now all alone on the top of the AFC standings. And Kansas City controls its own destiny for the #1 seed and a first-round bye in the AFC playoffs. 1 game up on the Patriots and Titans, 2 games up on Cincinnati. And There are 3 games left. If they win 2 of those 3, they would clinch the AFC West title. If they win them all, they're no doubt the #1 seed in the AFC playoffs. Kansas City, by the way, will be at home against the Steelers on Sunday. Finally, a little bowl action today. Tulsa faces Old Dominion in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. No kidding, this is the opening kickoff of the game. Lamarian James back for the Monarchs, finds a hole, outruns everybody to the other side of the field. It's actually Tulsa's 4th time this season allowing a kickoff return touchdown. That's the bad news. Good news, they dominated this one from there. Tied at 7 here, Davis Brin to Josh Johnson. 23-yard touchdown connection. Golden Hurricane in front for the first time. Skip ahead to the 4th now, already 23-10. Brin will find Ethan Hall. This one from just 4 yards away, but it's enough to put the game out of reach. Tulsa rolls over Old Dominion 30-17. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Jesse Madden served in the Navy during World War II, his hometown, Pitcher. We're proud to recognize Jesse Madden, tonight's 4-state hero. Well, saving lives and fighting crimes, everyday heroes are all around us. Plus, ever wondered how Santa relaxes before the big day? I know I have. Well, you're going to find out in today's Take a Look at This.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear Amazon vests. 19-year-old Lauren Ray was with her dog Max outside when another dog ran up and tried to attack Max. Screaming, she couldn't get away. Stephanie Lantz was delivering packages in the Las Vegas neighborhood when she heard the cries for help and sprang into action. Putting herself in the middle, she was able to shoo the dog away. Ray's family and other local Amazon members praised Lantz for her actions. And if you're wondering what got the agitated dog to stop, it was this pet owner favorite. Speaking of stepping into action, this employee must have been fed up with all the recent reports of brazen shoplifters, because when one man tried to steal bottles of expensive wine from a store in Hawaii, Gina Kekuhana refused to let her store be next. Kekuhana wrestled with the would-be thief all the way to the front of the store until she was finally able to rip his backpack off as he ran. HPD says the man was given a warning for trespassing. And finally, ever wondered how Santa relaxes before the big day? By hitting the slopes, of course.
We had about 800 Santas, Mrs. Claus, a couple of Grinches, a few dozen elves, and I think I saw Rudolph out there also, all on the hill. Eliesca Resort's annual Santa Skis free event did not disappoint this year, as hundreds of Christmas enthusiasts dressed up from head to toe for a free lift ticket.
It's just more exciting, more festive. Everybody's having a good time, a little more spirit, I think. We're all getting to ride for free and having a blast.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Daryl Forges.
Couple of key takeaways from that story. Things springing into action, people springing into action, and that's what's happening in the basketball world tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have highlights from Webb City girls game against Pittsburgh. Also, we had good news for the Chiefs. There's also some bad news. Travis Kelce, Travarius Ward, and Harrison Butker on the COVID list today. They got to go through protocols before they can get back on the field.
That is not good. Not good at all. Well, hopefully they can get back on the field and quick. Something we're not going to be doing anytime soon in the 4 states is skiing, at least not this week.
No, not with the numbers we've got lined up. It'll be cold tonight, sure. We'll close back in the 20s, but we'll go back to 51 tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Mid-50s Wednesday, pushing near 60 on Thursday.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. That is our time for now. We're going to see you back here tonight at 10, and thanks for making us part of your night.